So we did Superman 2025 was bad. All right. I was saying that it was bad. I think you were more so. I mean, you didn't like it either, but you just didn't like it for your reason you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Of course, that makes the fanboys mad. So let's look at some of these Gunnites, how they feel. All right.
Ninja forgot his what?
I think Ninja, we know what that means, forgot he's watching expletive comic book movie as a grown expletive man.
I'm assuming that's not talking about me.
Yeah, it's got to be you. Because you were talking about it being too not that comic book, Sunday Saturday morning cartoon, too funny. So I'll let you respond to that.
First of all, Mort, I don't want you to call me that. Secondly, I know I was watching a comic book movie, but here's the thing though. I feel like you can have a movie and not be like a Saturday morning cartoon, just because like you said, we have a lot of comic book nerd stuff that's not like Saturday morning. Like I wouldn't say Star Wars for like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Nope.
So what I'm saying, just because it's a comic book don't mean this guy. I feel like the comic book purist, which I am not. I will 100% tell you all right now, I am not a comic book purist. Mm-hmm. I don't read the comics. So if that makes you upset, I'm sorry. It just is what it is. So I'm a movie person. So I come at superhero stuff from a movie lens. I want to watch a movie. I grew up on Saturday morning cartoons. I'm not mad at Saturday morning cartoons, but I didn't want to watch a Saturday morning cartoon. I wanted to watch a movie about Superman doing Superman stuff. And I didn't want to see Superman with his issues.
Yeah.
And Superman struggling. And we're having this conversation, and in the background outside, we see some big thing fighting and all that stuff. So again, if that's what y'all wanted to watch, that's cool. But that's not what I wanted to see. So I was like, yeah, no, this is not this is not it for me. So I do think it's interesting up here. It's almost like this. What's the word? If you don't like this version of Superman, you're not a Superman fan. If you don't like this version of Superman, then you just don't know Superman.
Well, they said the same thing about Zack Snyder's Superman. So the problem is, I think someone made a comment on this. There are way too many versions in comics. This ain't anime where you got one version, one creator. Mm-hmm. Way too many versions for anybody to ever use that.
Yeah.
And my issue with that, let's go back to the comments. Okay. My issue with that is if you can't use it's a comic book movie as an excuse. Mm. We got to stop using that excuse. That actually makes it worse because we get away with too much stuff. And I'll come back to that. All right, let's see.
So it was pretty not
Superman to be a guest star on some film. Yes, that is kind of how they felt sometimes. I'll say this. I think they balanced it okay. I just didn't care about none of the other characters.
No, I actually feel that though.
Oh, you do? Okay.
No. I actually do feel that because the yes, it was mainly about Superman, but it was a lot of other people doing stuff. So it almost felt like it was like not a Superman movie per se.
Yeah.
Because you had what do they call it? Super Friends or something like that? I don't know.
Oh, the Justice Gang.
The Justice Gang. Okay, so yeah, my bad. I guess it wasn't a comic book. We just saw a comic book on. But here's the thing, the comic book thing. Watchmen. What the heck?
Exactly.
I mean, what the heck? Watchmen.
Blade. Spawn.
I'm sorry. I like the more serious type of stuff. My bad. Anyways.
That's a lot. I'm not going to read all that, but he's pretty much agreeing that it doesn't hold up on rewatch. He hit a lot of stuff. He said Lex overpowered, just like you said.
Okay, yeah.
He said he was too overpowered. And he made a good point, though. He did say Superman's only been active for 3 years. Yeah, at that time, Lex built all this stuff and a way to beat Superman, clone him, all of that, ages the clone, and does all that. And in 3 years, he's been active. And that is kind of a stretch right there. Like, is this plan works better if it's a long-running rivalry? You know, I do agree with that. Oh, and something I told you there was a lot of issues I never touched on. I didn't like Lex's motivation. They got very close to getting Lex's motivation right in a way that no other on-screen version of Lex Luthor has ever actually gotten right. I want to admit that. And they got very close to getting it right, and then they lost it in the third act. When and I got to remember, I still watched the movie, but they were very close to him being able to say, because Lex Luthor in the comics, mainline comics, issue with Superman is that Lex should be humanity's savior because Lex is a human, and that Superman is actually holding human beings back. Okay. But that's Lex's standpoint.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not mad at that.
Lex in the movie, it looked like they were about to go that route, and then at the very end when they had their whole long conversation, I have issues with that too. He fumbled it, and I forgot exactly what he said, but I was so close in theater, and I was like, dang, they almost had it.
Yeah.
But it was more personal for him. Like he just couldn't take it. I forgot what they said. His reasoning, what he said his reasoning was. But I remember thinking, y'all were this close to greatness, this close.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think you can balance the humor. Like again, the movie has humor. It's not to say you can't have any humor at all, but I do think you can balance it in a.
And here's the thing: Guardians of the Galaxy was funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was funny. But I didn't enjoy it because the comedy didn't work for me. Just because it's comedy in a comic book film doesn't mean it works. We got to stop doing that. Just because the costume is comic accurate doesn't make it a good costume. Not everything works on film. At the end of the day, you have to make a good film. I'm not watching a comic book film. I'm watching a film, and you have to make a good film. If it's comic book related, great, fine. But it's got to be a good movie. And in my opinion, Superman 2025 is not a good movie. And saying that, it's a comic book movie does not give it a green light to not be good. We've had too many good comic book movies. Super comic accurate, not comic accurate, whatever. We have too many good comic book movies for us to use the excuse, you're watching a comic book movie. You shouldn't be this critical on it. No, we've come too far for that. We don't need that anymore at all. We've gone there. We had some other comments. One guy said, "Okay, hater." Well, you got to be a hater if you hate the movie.
A lot to say. Why can't I just not like the movie?
Exactly.
But that's fine. I'll be a hater. It's cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to also throw in there something else I thought about that I forgot to bring up was I didn't like the when they revealed what the parents' message was, how they decoded it, and so quickly translated the language. And I was like, how in the world did y'all just find this so easily to just be able to do this? So that Lex, nothing was stopping him. Yeah. That man was like, I would rather him be Superman, to be honest with you.
There you go. Which, again, they almost got it right because that's Lex's whole point.
Yeah.
Like, one of my favorite Superman arcs, because somebody tried to call me on TikTok saying that I need to read some comics. And then I replied back with a list of my favorite Superman comics, like, what's yours? Yeah. And he didn't. He just replied back with his favorites. I was like, okay. But one of my favorite comics was during the. It was after. Final. It was right before New 52, I believe. After Final Crisis. No, after Blackest Night, specifically.
Okay.
And
that was the Green Lantern stuff.
Yeah. After Blackest Night, that was one of the last major events. Before New 52 happened, you had Blackest Night, then you had the Brightest Day initiative, and then New 52 happened. And that what happened was Lex Luthor took over Action Comics for a while.
Okay.
You could still read the Superman comic book, but Action Comics, which Superman also headlined, Lex Luthor became the protagonist for a while. Yeah. And Superman was doing, I think this is when he was doing his Grounded storyline, where he was trying to reconnect with humanity in America, so he decided to walk across the United States.
I think I remember
and that
something
was
about that.
What was going on Superman comic.
Yeah.
So Action Comics, Lex Luthor became the protagonist, and he had gotten the orange ring in Blackest Night, and that was avarice, greed, which matched him. That's why I found him. But there's only one ring and one lantern because of Larfleeze. Anyway, so he got it for a little while, or maybe another ring did get created. Anyway, whatever, he lost it. But he was obsessed with finding that kind of power again. So the whole arc was him searching for a power that ended up not even really being all that related to all that stuff. But he basically found out that the Phantom Zone, there was a creature that grew up or was born in the Phantom Zone. The Zone Child, I think they called it. And it's like this alien creature. And it was immensely powerful. Okay. So he ended up finding this creature. By the end of the arc, he siphoned the powers of that being and took it on for himself and became like omnipotent, super powerful, and all that. The interesting thing was, the only thing he could do with this power is like, I'm probably weakening it, but in so many words, make everybody happy. Like it brought total peace and joy to like the universe or Earth or whatever. And that was all he could do with the power. But he wanted to destroy Superman. And that's the fatal flaw in Lex. Even if he's right that Superman's holding humanity back, he's still not the right guy to be humanity's savior because of his ego and his inability to get over himself. And that's what I thought they were going to get right. Because this Lex was kind of petulant. And I was like, you're not wrong. You're getting there. You're actually touching on it. But they still missed it. So Superman shows up in the final issue of this arc when he's all powerful and flies up to Lex in space or whatever and realizes the power that he has. Because right now it's active and everybody, like there's a dude who broke his leg or about to die on the side of a mountain somewhere, but he feels good. He feels like, I forget what the emotion was. It wasn't like just joy, but it was like total peace or something like that. And it would have gave everybody world peace. And Superman realized what the power was. So he told Lex, he said, Lex, everything that I've ever done to make you feel the way you feel, I'm sorry. He's like, this is too important. Like, save the world. Like you're the guy now. I'm sorry for being Superman, whatever. Like, this is too important. Whatever, you win, like kind of thing. But Lex wanted to kill Superman. The problem was, if you use the power to attack, it goes away. So he started beating on Superman because he's all powerful.
Yeah.
And it's like affecting Superman, but every time he punches him, he gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And he punches on Superman until he loses the power. And it was like, this is a perfect arc to perfectly embody who Lex is and what his problem is. That is who Lex Luthor is.
That kid's is a true villain.
Yeah, exactly.
See, those are the type of stories I like when you like willing to go there, because it's like he improved his point that I can do it, but then you saw the fatal flaw and he could not get over the fatal flaw.
Exactly.
So that's really good.
So exactly, because he used all his smarts and all his resources and everything to get to this power.
Yeah.
And then when he had it, he couldn't let go of his own pride, ego, and his hurt against Superman to just be what he always said he wanted to be. Because I think Superman said it, there was a line there, he was like, this is your chance to prove everything you've ever said to me. Like, this is it. Be the guy. And like, Superman was willing to give up being the guy for Lex to be the guy. Yeah. And that's still the contrast.
And you see that sacrifice there. He didn't need to be the hero. He was willing to sacrifice that.
Yeah. And that's what makes Superman. That little speech at the end when he's like, I make mistakes. It hurts my feelings. That's why that makes me human. No, that's not Superman. That's not the point. Superman's supposed to be better than us.
Right. It's like that symbol, something to reach for.
Exactly.
So I was like, I don't need to relate to Superman, because we can't really relate to Superman because we're not Superman.
Exactly.
We can't relate to him.
But anyway, so that's us touching that.